Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining in for episode number 7. So, episode 7 is going to be about why is mental health important to making your passion into success and passion into reality. So the reason why I picked that topic is, one, because if you don't know, mental health advocacy is very important to me. One, because I've dealt with it and I know it's a stigma that constantly has been going on for years, and it's time to break the barriers so that people can get to where they need to be at and accomplish the goals they want to do. But they need the mental maintenance. They need the necessary resources to believe that they have hope, regardless of what their social status is now, regardless of how they was brought up, regardless of not knowing the unknown. So that's why I started this YouTube channel, because I wanted to get people more in depth and more educated and get more influence of what I got going on, how my movement is going, how I basically been building on every different platform, and how each platform is similar in one aspect, because I'm all about impacting each other to get to a necessary level to make your passion into reality. And that's the big time. Everybody at any given moment can go through mental distresses, whether it's small or minimum, by having a life setback that's temporary, to having engaging ultimate PTSD if they're a military person or a student from high school that may not have graduated from high school or did graduate from high school, and then they just don't know where to go to next, and it starts being, well, am I just going to be working a 9 to 5? Am I going to college? What's the purpose of me going to college? All those just unknowns that can create mental distresses, from depression, anxiety, OCD, just the list goes on and everything. And I really got on this I got on this YouTube because I felt like I wasn't doing enough just for Facebook, just for Instagram. I said, YouTube is time. Podcast is coming. I'm definitely launching that before the month is up. And I really want to empower and encourage others that get your mental distresses under control. Check on your people that have, instead of asking them how their day is, ask them, how is your mental health? And the thing is, you don't know if somebody's going through something. Somebody could smile in your face and they could be just dead inside. They could be unhappy with themselves. They could be smiling and just going with the flow, and you seem like they're a happy person, and then all of a sudden they off themselves. I've seen too many young kids killing themselves. I've seen celebrities that use like Robin Williams and Kate Spade. You would have never known they was unhappy with their lives, and they just committed suicide. So literally, we gotta let it known. Stop sweeping it under the rugs. Mental health is here, and it's not going nowhere. So let's continue on making the change. Let's make it happen. So, like I said, in the beginning stages, my YouTubes are gonna suck, but keep stick with me. Within a year or a few months from now, it's gonna get better. So this is the topic. Like I said, this is out of keyboard. So I'm gonna go down the list of talking about barriers of mental health, the top 3 barriers that I selected for today, the solutions to those 3 barriers. Then I'm going to talk about my actual personal story. Then after that, I'm going to discuss how my story has triggered me to have people actually follow me now, and how you can have the opportunity as well to do so. So, my name is Sheraya Walker once again, and mental health, I've been dealing with that for quite some time, and I continue on to make sure that I get mental health maintenance by whether I just go to counseling, whether I go to therapy. Everybody, I think, at any given moment can have therapy, whether they may not need it, maybe their children need it, maybe their best friend needs it, maybe maybe a friend of theirs might need it. There's always somebody that I guarantee that's going through something, and having that necessary person to talk to that's neutral. Sometimes it's not enough to have a spiritual leader. Sometimes you actually need somebody that's professional, and then sometimes you just need somebody that's a life coach that can just basically steer you in the right direction, because it might be minimal, but some people, it depends on where their course of life. Everybody's at different stages of their life, so we're not expecting to compete, and that's what my live video is not about. I'm not expecting you to be like the Joneses. I'm not expecting you to be like the next Gary Vee, next Grant Cardone, the next Elena Cardone, the next Oprah Winfrey. I'm basically aspiring to be the next Sheraya Walker, the next individual that's gonna uplift you and grow you. So, like I said, the three barriers that I want to mention right now is mental distresses, being uneducated on resources to be successful, and then the social stigma. And let's start with number one, mental distresses. Mental stresses come from PTSD, having OCD, having anxiety, having depression. Those are the top knowns that acquire to have mental stress. Oh yeah, ADHD and everything like that. So what's the solution for that? Getting therapy and coaching. Now, know the difference. Therapy and counseling it's a specialist that's certified, and they can, if you're, depends on the level of your severity for mental health, can actually prescribe you. A life coach, they can only give you certain advice about how to basically acquire and better your life, and how you basically have certain solutions that you can resolve. But they can't give you no medical advice about, oh well, you should try this, or you should do that. That's illegal on the life coach end. So I just want to let you know that. Then on the on the counseling aspect, you need to take it seriously. Be real with them. It's confidentiality. Both the life coach and the actual counselor should be giving you disclosures of saying that we can't give out any information unless we think it's going to be harm to you. So do know your ins and outs, and know if somebody just basically giving you just free advice, or just giving you advice based on what they need compared to what they want to do. Sometimes you just need a spiritual coach. I do support that, but sometimes if you get what you put into. Sometimes it depends on the congregation. Sometimes the members are too busy to do so. So sometimes scheduling that professional, sometimes you don't have to pay for a professional, but scheduling that actual counselor, and know that that's what their life work is. Most times they're not going to cancel you. So I really encourage you schedule an appointment with it, whether you find a life coach that really you reflect with and bond with, or go to a counselor and pay for it. Or there's services out there. Some people have actual health insurance, and they didn't even know that they can utilize their health insurance for check-ins, not just for regular annual checkups for doctors, not for dental, not just for eyes. You actually can utilize some of your services if your counselor accepts it. Then you don't have to pay. You might have to pay a copay, but you don't have to pay the full price. So look into that. It doesn't hurt and everything. Life coaches, find out if they're certified, or find out what their background is. Some people aren't certified. Like me, I'm working on my process to be a life coach, but I do know I can back it up of where my life experience is, and you have to just basically give it to God and pray if that's necessary, where the step is going to for you to get help and get citizens. So me, I'm more of a mentor right now until I become life coaches. So stay tuned when I do get my life coach certification, because I'm definitely going to work on some things to expand out, because I do want to uplift people, and I think that education is key. And people will spend $50,000 to $100,000 a year, but won't educate things that they're specialty at, and I think that's kind of absurd and stupid. And I'm really a big firm believer of being a lifetime learner and stuff like that. So the second thing is being uneducated on resources. What I mean by that is some people get so much of a roadblock. Why? Because they don't know who to go to. They don't know who can help them. They don't apply themselves to get the necessary resources. Yes, there's a lot of functions out there. There's a lot of network visits, but there's a difference between being too busy and just being in everything, and actually being something to really define who you are as an individual. And that's how people sometimes get lost. Me, I reflected and took like a 2 to 3 month hiatus from going to actual network events, not because I didn't love doing them. It's because of the fact sometimes you get so busy supporting everybody else, you just numb. You're just there, but you're not there. So really have a purpose behind why you're doing certain event. If an event is intriguing and it can help you with the kind, like an event that I really want to go to sometime this week, well, 2 events, they're both going to apply and help me with my business. Now I have actual connection of when I do stuff, and that's when I read books, and stuff like that. I read books more apply to what I want to learn about, or how it's going to help build my business and everything. I just don't do non-fictions like Harry Potter. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with Twilight, nothing wrong with anything, but is that really helping me to excel my life? You know, you can make that as your free time. If instead of watching TV, you can read Twilight, but literally feed your brain into books, podcasts, people that's already doing it. You know, I was in a mastermind group, in a accountability group that I'm in, and one of the 7-figure earners said all the entrepreneurs basically copy off of each other, but they make it into their own in the interim, and the ones that are really successful is the ones that stand out, make it unique. So that's why I started doing this. There's not enough mental health advocacy on my end, and my people of color and stuff. There might be, you know, yes, there's big names like Chadra P. Henson, Kerry Washington, but there's always room for growth. There's always room for United We Stand. And if there's 7.3 billion people, there's enough people to talk about how we can make success as a part of mental health and everything. Also going into number 2 with being uneducated on resources, the solution would be, how can we basically get the unknowns into knowns? And that's by reading books, by constantly educating yourself, feeding yourself, watching podcasts, listening to podcasts, YouTube channels, what else? Really watching movies that's about people's life stories, seeing how their journey is. Going to having mentoring, just like how I started my mastermind group called Passion Warriors. I'm gonna mention that more at the end about what's it about, what's going on, how it's been growing, how it's developing, how you can be part of it. I'm gonna mention that at the end and stuff like that. Then conference events. If you want to basically build your network, you got to be around people that's doing it. And you know, yes, there's some conferences that are free. They start off being free, and then you can go there, and then at the end, they're gonna want you to pay for something. Okay. No problem, and stuff like that. But at the same time, you're going to get some type of golden nugget from them free events. And then at the same time, if you want to basically scale up and get to the millionaires, get to the people that's actually doing it, you're going to have to pay. I would ideally drop a $2,000 trip to go see a conference like Grant Cardone, Damon John, Bradley, Elena Cardone, Oprah Winfrey, Chadra P. Henson. Because of, like, not because of celebrity, but because I know I can learn from them, and I know they can build me up and get me to the next level where I need to be at. So this is why I do what I do, because entrepreneurship has helped reflect why I'm doing the things I'm doing. Mental health has been a part of my journey in my life, and I took for so long, how can I incorporate entrepreneurship and mental health? And that's how I built up my nonprofit called Passion to Wealth. And then it minimized it with having a tribe and having a following. I called it Passion Warriors, because I wanted to create a group of individuals that wanted to make their passion a reality. I started in 18 and 22, not really knowing where I wanted to be at and knowing what I wanted to do. So that's how I incorporated both things into a platform, and it's going to expand from courses to everything else. So stay tuned on that and everything. So definitely, it's on you. Then it's social stigma, which converts from the fact of events and stuff. So the social stigma problem and barriers and roadblocks is that we as individuals look at others so much that we feel like we got to be living up with the Joneses. I just got finished watching a Gary Vee video recently, and Gary Vee was talking about how it's one thing how everybody's trying to keep up with this person, that person, and then they're not trying to impact that person. They just like, oh, well, keep up with me and buy this car, keep up with me and buy this J. And that's what we got to stop doing. And then on top of that, mental health been so much of a quote unquote sweep things underneath the rug. We gotta stop doing that. You know, that's why kids are offing themselves. That's why if parents don't know their kids are being bullied, they're not knowing until last minute, and then they're basically writing them a letter, and then they're offing themselves. They just randomly choking. You know, this like committing suicide actions, and you wouldn't even know why they're doing it, because the fact is they don't feel like they're comfortable to talking to you, and they don't know how you can help them. So we gotta talk to our children. We gotta talk to people in general. It doesn't matter how old they are. If they feeling the way they feeling, get to the root of the problem and try and reflect in how to basically resolve it. And that's gonna be like how I said in step 1, going to therapy and counseling. Then it's also gonna be about building your network. The solution, building your network. If you're not building your network, to acquire who you want to be in life, then how are you going to grow as an individual? How is your mental health going to be intact? If you're around the wrong people, it's a fact that you're going to be around the wrong people that's gonna hurt and harm you to adore. I remember reading this in a book earlier this year. It was by Will Smith. He said, if you're around 5 millionaires, you have a possibility of being that 6 millionaire. But if you're around 5 knuckleheads, I'm saying this not verbatim, but if you're around 5 knuckleheads, you're a possibility that you're gonna be that 6th knucklehead, and that's on you and stuff like that. So when I started this journey of really starting to be intact, of being consistent with live videos and being more engaged and attracting attention, not because of show and tell, but because I wanted to help and impact people, it really took me really some shell to build, so that I'm not coming off being weird, but it's okay to be weird, but I'm coming off with having a root of, I want to help each other, and there's nothing nothing condescending, negative about it. It's about me uplifting and encouraging others. It's about me influencing others and stuff. And that's how one of my best friends, that's my business partner too, he said that the right people want to become attracted to you, and the wrong people are going to start repelling from you. And that's one thing that I started seeing, especially this year, that I've been so engaged and more. This has been a year of consistency for me, and that's how I've been uplifting. So I want to go now into my story. My story as why mental health is important to me, to making my passion into reality, is I started off when I was about 15 years old. I just was probably like, just doing everything, being busy in sports and stuff like that. But there's something always dead inside me that I just felt like I was wrong. I wasn't right enough. I wasn't good enough. I felt like, I wasn't loved. I had 2 parents that, was working, and they did their thing. They did what they had to do and stuff like that. But, there was just certain things I wasn't missing, I didn't get the date, and stuff like that. So I wasn't taught what it takes to have a good man and stuff like that. There are certain things I had to learn in time as I got older and stuff like that. And it just there was times I wanted to just basically off myself. I was in college, and I was just, I had good quality people, but everybody else had that, connection with their friends, and with their friends and family. And I was always just getting, I had one best friend, she had a mother that passed away, and me and her was so cool, but I couldn't relate, because I had a mother that was living here that we just didn't vibe. And I love my mom's dad, I really do, and stuff like that. I love my dad and stuff. And it's in time, now it's people just don't understand. I'm not trying to basically bash anybody or anything, but this is my story, this is my truth, this is my side. And in time, from the age of 18 to 22, I just was so lost. And then from 22 to 29, I was even more lost, because I was in a 9-year relationship, wasn't going nowhere, no growth. I did show, I think every lesson, every situation, it does show you experience, to show you a life situation to basically better yourself and everything, but it just wasn't the situation that I needed to be in anymore. And it took me to basically take that courage. God put people in my life to better me and basically get out of that situation. And do I respect that person still to this day? Do I have love for that person? Yes. We just weren't meant to be, and stuff like that. So yeah, during the ages of 18 and 29, I felt like every year, especially towards before I became 30 and stuff, I just every year I just had that close. Whenever I got to 30, whenever I got to the next year, I was like, oh, I'm not accomplished enough. I hate my birthday. I don't want to do my birthday, even though I love celebrating my birthday. But I just always had this moment every time, and I just I can't do this. I don't feel loved enough. I had a good network system. I had a good support system, from friends that became friends from college that became my family in my life. And literally, I can still to this day pick up a phone, no matter, I can get a hold. If I have 5 friends, I'm gonna be able to get a hold of them no matter what time of day or night it is. And literally, when that it got built up and got influenced and got encouraged, it has really made me move to, I do have hope. I am loved. I can do this and stuff. So since now being 31, and everything. No, going back to when I was 30, once I turned 30, I basically, the end of that year, I said, Lord, I can't keep on doing this depression. I can't do this anxiety. You know I'm destined for greatness. How can I do it? Help me. So, and along the way, he gave me a life coach. He gave me a mentor that I'm no longer affiliated with. It is what it is, it is what it is in that situation. But literally, God blessed me with a whole new support system that got my back, even people that I really got close with just within this year and stuff, and just like we stay in touch and we look out for each other, we support each other. I mean, my entrepreneur family is like really stronger than no other type of family that I've ever had and stuff like that, and it's really a blessing to have that and stuff like that. So once I turned 30, I took the necessary steps, went to a life coach. I went with her for like 6-7 months. Then I went in the necessary stages, and then eventually I went to a few sessions in mental counseling. So now I just basically in the process of just have mental maintenance. I recommend people doing it. If they don't need to go full-time with the actual therapy, go at least twice a year or 3 times a year. Get it out. It's worth it. You can't put a price on your health. You can't put a price on your mental health. Real talk. So that's my story and everything. I'm really gonna bring on some more. I hope you guys love the 3 barriers to the solution, because that's what I'm about. Stop complaining about stuff, find solutions. So this is why I created this specific topic of mental health barriers to solutions. So the mental health, once again, 3 barriers was mental distresses. Then it was being uneducated on resources. Then the number 3 was social stigma. And overall, my biggest solution that I want to open up to everybody in the community is I have a group called Passion Warriors. And Passion Warriors is a group of individuals. Right now I have 38 members, and it's growing. It's going to be definitely I'm speaking in existence before the year is up, it's going to be having at least 500 plus members. And the reason why I say that is because I know my movement is strong and it's so unique, and it's going to happen because it's really in a process of making your passion a reality. Yes, although I figured out my target audience was starting from 18 to 25 ballpark, is because those was around the time when I had the most times when I felt lost. And I feel like that's the time when people are just now getting to know each other, and if they don't have a mentor to guide them, they're gonna fall off. They're gonna fall through the cracks. Whether you let me say this. Okay, how many people went to college? Me. How many people graduate from college and then go into their field? Me. How many people actually graduate from college and didn't know what they wanted to do, or had a life or altered situation, whether death in the family, whether they got into a bad situation and just fell them off, whatever the case may be? I've been through what I've been through, and I can basically relate to you in some aspect, whether you had a death in the family or something like that. One of the things that really hit home and started to have me trigger to get out of my 9-year relationship was when my cousin passed away, and she was only 25. So the reason why I'm targeting that point, because people might have experienced around that year of 18 to 25, but I'm not disclosing other people that might need help from other ages. I got people that's in 40 that's doing that's in my group. I got people that's 50. I got people that's, I got 2 young individuals that are really killing it right now, and I'm really super proud of them. So if you want to know more about Passion Warriors, it's a closed group. I do have a set of questions you could answer, and you must answer all the questions to actually be accepted and approved in the group. And then after that, let's get it going, because I want to make your passion a reality. I want to get you mentally aligned so you can be focused into being a successful person that you destined to deserve, and live the life that you deserve for you and your loved ones. So that's all I gotta say. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. If you haven't done so, please like, share, and comment my YouTube channel. Love you guys. Be blessed. See y'all tomorrow. Thank you for watching episode 7. Bye.